Tyler Tolman with Conscious Lifestyler, and today I would like to talk a little bit about Candida. You know that thing you hear, Candida, somebody has it, you probably have it and don't even know it. In fact, everybody has Candida. Huh, interesting, didn't know that. Some people know that, some people don't. Everybody has Candida. Some people, though, have what's called a Candida bloom, where all of a sudden they've eaten a lot of sugar, they've eaten a lot of different things, and all of a sudden they start to have issues and symptoms of things going on that are the symptoms that come from what's called Candida, or Candida albicans. So they'll go to their doctor, they'll go to a naturopath, or go somewhere and they say, oh, you have Candida, you need to avoid fruit, you need to avoid sugars, you need to avoid all these things. And really when it comes down to it, is fruit bad? No. Are you bad? Yes. The things that you've been eating, the things that you've been doing have caused a situation for this Candida to get out of control. So we really have to look in the body and see what is it that's actually causing these problems. And the problem really is coming from people eating a high processed diet. And some people, get away from eating a processed diet. They get away from eating chemical preservatives, artificial sweeteners, and all these things, but they still have these issues with sugar. And what it comes down to is a couple of things, but mainly it's the fact that people have a really high fat content diet. And if you look at fat, fat is basically an insulator. If I can grab a big pinch of fat on my stomach, you can see that, it insulates us. And fat is a good thing. Too much fat, though, not so much. And if you look at long-lived cultures of people, like the Abkhazias of Russia, or the Hunzas of Pakistan, you'll find out that the amount of fat that they actually eat is very small. They still eat fats. They have goats. They have cows. They'll milk and make ghee and different things, but they mostly eat fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and different things. And the amount of fat per calorie intake in their diet is probably around 10 to 15%. If you look at the average Australian or American, like myself, I'm an American, and you look at the content of fat in their diet, it's about 50 to 60%. So we're consuming massive amounts of fat, and it's coming from oils, coming from butter, coming from cooked foods, coming from meats, coming from processed stuff, trans fats, from hydrogenated oils, fats all over the place. So people literally have fats going all throughout their blood and all throughout different organs and coating everything. And then we have basically a circulatory system. If you could imagine, this is one of my arteries. We have blood flowing through that artery all the time. If I eat, let's say, an apple, or an orange, or a papaya, or a mango, there's lots of sugar in there, right? Fructose. Fructose is bad, don't eat it. Well, what's happening is when you eat that fruit, you're immediately uploading sugar into the body. Now I'll tell you that every cell in your entire body runs on sugar. Your brain runs on sugar. Okay, your muscles, glucose, okay, glycogen in the muscle runs on sugar. So sugar is essential, and it's the most abundant thing as far as naturally provided. Fruits and sugars are the best thing that you can have just to have energy and vitality. What's not best to have is a high fat content diet, because when you have all these fats flowing through the bloodstream, the fats will actually insulate the walls of the bloodstream and also insulate everything within the bloodstream. So when we have sugar instantly uploaded into the bloodstream to be carried and uploaded into the interstitial tissues of the body, when they try to get into the cells where they're supposed to go, they get trapped and stuck in the circulatory system because of all the fats that are in there. So when that sugar can't get to where it's supposed to go, you have what's called consistent elevated blood sugar. Then the body will kick up insulin, okay, to try to deal with that. And if the insulin can't get to it and deal with it in a quick amount of time, then we have this Candida that feeds on sugar that will literally bloom and go throughout the blood, eating up all of the different sugars. It's actually a life-saving mechanism. So this Candida will eat up all the sugars, and then when there's not enough sugars available, they start to die and go back to normal rates. We call this a bloom, and you have all kinds of different symptoms from it. So people will be told, don't eat sugar. And in fact, they should be cutting back and reducing the amount of fat that they're eating. If you reduce the amount of fat to very small amounts, within 24 to 48 hours, that fat can start to work its way out of the body, and you can start to eat fruits as much as you want without having this issue. So really, exercise is another one. if we're eating a lot of sugars and we're not exercising, our muscles and our cells and our body's not using as much sugars. So really we should be exercising, getting a lot of movement, cutting back on fat, and we'd really be dealing with the problem, with the actual causal issues of Candida. So I hope that made sense, and have a great day.